Why, hello there. My name is John Crump. I'm the Virginia Director for Gun Owners of America, and I'm an investigative journalist concentrating on 2A issues. Today's video is going to be a little different, but before we get into that, if you like what I do here, like, comment, and subscribe. I have a join button where you can join and help me make this content. Also, I have a Patreon, patreon.com/John Crump. Now, today's video is going to be a little bit different. It is a sneak peek at a new podcast that we are coming out with called Virginia Reloaded. Virginia Reloaded concentrates on two-way issues in the state of Virginia. It is sponsored by Gun Owners of America, and I want to thank them for sponsoring the show. All right, with that said, let's go ahead and jump into it. My co-host is Silverback from Gorillas and Guns. His channel is found below, and also there should be a little thing up here that will direct you to his channel. All right, with that said, let's dig into it. Somebody once asked me, do I want to see a revolution in the country? And my answer was no, absolutely not. I want to see a restoration. I want to see a restoration of our constitutional rights as intended by the founding fathers.
Right.
And right now, we don't have that. We are so far off what they intended when they wrote that Constitution back in the late 1700s that I think they would be rolling over in their graves. We are the land of liberty in Virginia. Madison, Mason, Washington, Jefferson, all these leaders came from Virginia. And what these Democrats are doing with, and I say Democrats because these bills are all coming from Democrats, are doing with these anti gun bills are spitting in the face of our founding fathers. They are spitting in the face of the fathers of Virginia. They are spitting in the face of Washington, the father of our country. Jefferson, one of the greatest minds who've ever lived. Madison, whose writing of the Constitution is just amazing. He made a masterpiece of Mason, of all these people that lived in Virginia, that fought for Virginia back in the day and fought against a tyrannical king. And what are they doing? They're trying to turn us back to a tyrannical government where they have control of everything. We don't have control of our safety. They'll control our safety. We have to put our safety in their hands. And at that point, we don't become citizens anymore. We're not citizens anymore. At that point, we're serfs. We're servants. We are, I don't know. I get worked up when I think about that. Anyone who hasn't read the Federalist Papers or the Anti-Federalist Papers or the writings of Madison really needs to go out and read these papers because it will give you the tools to fight back against these anti-gun people when they try to lie to you about the Constitution and they try to mislead you of what the Constitution actually says. Then you can point out where Madison specifically talked about the Second Amendment, where Washington specifically talked about the Second Amendment, where Thomas Jefferson specifically talked about the Second Amendment, where Adams specifically talked about the Second Amendment. All these guys were on the same page when it came to the Second Amendment, and yet these politicians in Richmond are spitting in the face of our founding fathers, and we can't take that anymore. We have to stand up and tell them no more. We're not going to let you walk on their graves. We are going to stand up against your tyrannical and draconian laws that make no sense. It doesn't make us any safer. All it does is push your anti gun narrative because you have a philosophical hatred for the right to bear arms.
Well, they also have a need to be in control and assume power.
Absolutely. There's no way that you can control an armed population. There's no way you can control people who have the right and the ability to throw off the chains of servitude, to throw off the chains of, of control. The firearm, guns, to me, that's what this means. This means liberty. This gun in my hand right here means liberty. It means freedom. It means I don't have to ever be a slave. It means I don't ever have to live under a tyrannical government. And I won't live under a tyrannical government. No way. And I'm going to fight these people tooth and nail to make sure that these laws don't pass. And if they do, we have enough sheriffs and enough counties with balls to stand up to Richmond and say, not in my county, not in my jurisdiction. You will not enforce these unconstitutional, draconian gun laws in my community. Sorry, I'm a little bit fired up.
No, that's good, man. That just shows your passion for sure, man. And I love it.
Absolutely. All right, let's
So,
move on. Go ahead.
okay, so the Democrats' logo is what?
I'm a jackass. I don't know.
Exactly, the donkey. And it suits them perfectly because they're a bunch of jackasses.